Welcome to S&C Sidebar, where we talk with our different litigation partners about some of the most interesting legal issues they've seen in their careers and what they are seeing on the horizon, among other topics. Today, we are joined by Lenny Traps, who is a partner in the firm's litigation group. Lenny litigates a wide range of commercial matters, including securities, shareholder derivative, M&A, antitrust, contract, and product liability cases in federal and state court and in arbitration. Lenny has been a partner since 2021. Lenny, it's fun to see you today. I know it's been a long time since you and I have had a moment to chat. It's fun for me to look at your list of the kinds of cases you work on. Certainly, you and I have worked on securities cases, shareholder derivative cases, and antitrust cases together, as well as something that's not listed here, which is an investigation practice.
True.
So, what have been your most favorite cases to work on?
It's always hard to say because as an S&C litigator, as you mentioned, you work across subject areas, industries, forums. Just the two of us have worked on so many different things for so many different clients. And because of the kind of work we do, it usually tends to be something that's novel, legally, factually, something that's in the news, for better or for worse. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because when I think about a case or a matter that made an impact on me, I come back to when I started my career here, and it was the financial crisis litigation. It was just a tsunami of litigation, all related to the RMBS crash and the economic crisis that followed. High-profile work in the news, novel legal issues, huge amounts of documents, sometimes hostile judges, clients under a lot of pressure and scrutiny. And to navigate all that early on as a first-year associate, second-year associate, third-year associate, to see the life cycle of these cases from filing to trial and appeal in one case, to see them across forums and to see them resolve, sometimes with big wins and sometimes with small wins. It's an experience that I come back to a lot in everything I do now. And the lessons I learned there, I think I use for all of my cases on an ongoing basis.
Financial crisis was really such an interesting time to learn to be a litigator. What you really are describing is S&C's generalist model, somebody who learns from the documents, goes into court, as we know, talks to the DOJ, takes things through trial, even into appeal. I have some pretty strong views about the S&C's generalist model, but I'd be interested in hearing from you how the generalist model helps in handling litigation matters.
Yeah, I think it's key to everything we do here and key to what I do. I've had the pleasure of working across legal areas, as you said in your introduction, but even as to one legal area, working for a variety of clients in a variety of industries, different kinds of forums, state court, federal court, arbitration. As you mentioned, sometimes it's intertwined with an investigation. Clients want you to be able to see beyond the narrow legal issue that's right in front of them. These legal problems don't come gift wrapped in one tidy area, factually or legally. And I think it's an invaluable perspective to be able to see what other kinds of issues, problems, postures one legal issue can create, and to be able to see around the corners and anticipate other things and know that something you do in one situation is going to affect you in others. Right now, I'm working for a client on a series of disputes that came out of a transaction and touches on M&A, stockholder, tort, contract, tax, insurance. Some of these I'm learning from scratch. And of course, you consult with the firm experts constantly. And I think we have a great culture of consultation with the experts. But at the same time, you learn and you reason by analogy. You figure out how skills you learned in one area for one client can translate into a new situation. And I think that gives you a perspective that specialist litigators don't necessarily have.
Especially as a new partner, I'm interested in hearing a little bit about what you have learned about working with clients, and particularly how, as a new partner, you work with clients to foster a strong and productive relationship.
Yeah, I can think of three things that come to mind. One, and it's obvious, but you have to do great work. And I think the clients rightfully expect that when they hire S&C or any law firm. And perhaps it's table stakes, but It's definitely necessary. Even if it's not sufficient, you have to give them the best quality work product and the best quality advice when they need it and how they need it. But I think beyond that, the best lawyers that I've seen and learned from here know their client's business, appreciate the nuances of their business beyond just being a lawyer and serving in just that capacity, and have a feel, at least, for the client's business needs. And relatedly, I think the best lawyers I've seen, including you, and this is something I try to calibrate and emulate, have a good bedside manner with clients. They know how to approach the client in a way that gets at what exactly the client wants and needs while giving advice that may push back on the immediate instinct in a particular situation.
As someone who did it successfully, do you have any advice for associates who are looking to become partners?
Well, I think in many ways it parallels what we said about client service. Again, the table stakes, but I don't want to minimize it, is you have to do great work. And I think that's critical, again, necessary, even if not sufficient. I think the best associates do that and are also very proactive. They don't treat their work as siloed. They try to see where their work fits in into the broader case. I think the best associates, and this is something I try to do throughout my career, keep up to date on the legal and factual developments. I always encourage associates I work with to subscribe to newsletters so that they get them every day and see what's going on in the legal area, in the industry, and pass that on to partners who may be very busy, haven't seen it. Clients may not have seen these legal developments. Sometimes I or an associate will see a case that came in. It's facially not that obviously important to what we're doing, but you go through the analysis and you realize that we could use this by analogy again to something that we're doing. And it's really helpful. And I think people appreciate that kind of creativity and being proactive. And then I think, again, as with clients, I think you have to make human connections. People want to work with people who they would want to be around generally. The best associates and best lawyers make those human connections over their career and build a reputation as people who are both really good lawyers, but really good people.
Well, thank you for your time today. It's always fun talking to you. I will tell our listeners that I did speak to you about half an hour before, and I'm sure I'll speak with you in about a half an hour from now. But it's great to take time out from some of the client work we're doing and have a moment to reflect on what has been your extraordinary career.
Thanks, Sharon. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lenny.